2 out, runners on first and second, and Reggie Smith fouled out his first time.
Reggie Smith.
Catfish wasn't going to give Carl anything too good. With first base open, sets up the force out on any of the bases for his infielders.
Reggie Smith. 2 down, runners on first and second. Our game tied 1-1 in the last of the third. On deck, Petrocelli. Ball 2. We have 2 Reggies here. Reggie Smith at bat, Reggie Jackson in center field. And the 2 Reggies ranked 1 and 2 in the American League in total bases last year. Bando kind of settled Hunter down. Bando looks like a blocking back. Two and nothing to Reggie Smith. Foul on the count, 2-1.
That's a pitch Reggie like to have back. 2-0, looking for the fastball. Seemed to be in his power zone inside, about belt high. And a good cut, just got under it. Hunter is not afraid to challenge the hitters. He has good control, and I don't mean just the kind of getting the ball in the strike zone. He can spot the ball. Hits the corners. Doesn't throw many balls down the center of the plate.
That one came down and in on him, 3-1. By total bases, you count 4 bases for a homer, 3 for a triple, 2 for a double, 1 for a single, add them all up. And the leader in total bases in the American League so far this season is Richie Allen with the White Sox. And Hunter pitching himself into some trouble. Runners on first and second, 2 out. The 3-1 pitch coming up to Reggie Smith. Foul back, 3-2, and the runners will be on the move.
Dick Allen, not only the leader in total bases in the American League this year, he was the leading vote getter in the American League for that first base position and all the other players. Really fantastic. You know, they talk about baseball dying, which is a myth, Curt, as we well know when we come out to the ballpark. Over 1 million fans cast votes for Richie Allen.
And another myth that's only the old people watch it. Look at this ballpark today. There go the runners. Foul ball. Everywhere you go in this ballpark, you see young adults and teenagers. The college set here in the spring and the fall like to come to Fenway Park. We have so many colleges here in the Boston area. They're all ball fans. 3-2 to Reggie Smith. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. Setting the stage for Rico Petrocelli. He grounded a short his first time. Oakland got a run in the first. The Red Sox scored a run in the last of the second on Danny Cater's homer. The Red Sox now have 2 out and the bases loaded. Dick Williams, the manager, on the right. Bill Poisdell, his pitching coach, on the left. The A's did not reach the ballpark until about 1:20 today. They did without fielding or hitting practice. They have played 8 games in the last 5 days, and Dick Williams wanted to rest his club. Also, they have to play here again tonight. So they arrived here just in time to dress, come out, warm up their throwing arms, and get ready to go. Curve for a strike. Hunter, the lead man at third. Yastrzemski at second. Reggie Smith at first. 2 out. Ball, 1 strike, 1 to Petrocelli. Rico has power for an infielder. He's hit 8 homers. That's below what he's capable of. Pickoff attempt. 7 of his homers have been here. He hit over 40 one year as a shortstop.
The kind of park almost made for Rico Petrocelli. It's made him a very successful power hitter. Did the same thing for Frank Malzone, a Don Button. Played earlier in the infield in this ballpark.
Nearly hit him. 2-1. And now Dick Williams wants to come out and talk to Hunter.
Very unusual that Hunter would lose control as he has, walking Yastrzemski and Smith, and now falling behind Rico Petrocelli. He usually spots his ball pretty well, but when you get up in Fenway Park with that green monster in left field, you've got to be even more careful. Got to pitch more outside, hit that outside corner and low, so these men don't pull the ball off that left field wall.
Tony labeled the left field wall the Green Monster. That's what it's been called for years. Only 315 feet from home plate, 37 and a half feet tall, just a giant handball court, sort of. And it looks so close that all the right-handed batters shoot for it. And in doing so, many of them foul their swing up, trying to pull the ball too much. 2-1 pitch. Foul, 2-2. Just 2 years ago, Petrocelli hit 40 homers, an American League record for a shortstop. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-2 to Petrocelli. There's the left field wall that Petrocelli will be aiming at. Ooh, that one just missed.
Now with a 3-2 count, 2 outs, the runners will be going, and Catfish Hunter should be pitching from the stretch. But to keep those runners on first and second close so that the man from first can't score all the way on a single. He's going to his stretch.
Two pitch. A high fly to left. Joe Rudy will get under this one. Oh, he gave way suddenly. He was waved off the ball by Reggie Jackson because of the wind. He yelled him off. No runs for the Red Sox. 1 hit. They left 3 at the end of 3. A tie game, 1-1. Into the 4th inning we go at Fenway Park, Boston. Bill Voss leading off for the A's. See, that hangs up long enough for Montgomery. Can't quite get it. That's Petrocelli over there, too.
Ordinarily, that would be an infielder's ball, Curt. The sun's bothering Montgomery. Here he goes over, has to run a hitter in the on-deck circle.
Old friend of ours and a fellow used to coach Tony Kubek in the minor leagues, Johnny Pesky, standing right here in back. I mean, wait a minute, John. I want to ask you a question or two. There's a pop-up to third. Petrocelli under it. Johnny was a star here with the Red Sox. He and Dom DiMaggio used to set the table for Ted Williams and Vern Stevens. He's a telecaster here with the Red Sox. And what about this Red Sox team, John? Do they have a chance for the pennant?
Curt, you have to say that. They've played exceptionally well the last 2 weeks of the season. They're in a 7-game winning streak. This could be number 8 for them, but the pitching's just been outstanding. I wish we'd had this kind of pitching.
That's when you played. You fellows had, I think, a team batting average one year of 300, but had only 2 starting pitchers, Kinder and Parnell.
That's right. We needed that extra pitcher. I'm not taking anything away from the rest of the guys we had in those years, Curt. But this is an exciting ball club. They're doing the little things extremely well, which showed here last night again.
1 ball, 1 strike. So you think maybe they can play even better in the second half than they did the first?
Ken, they look so badly the first half that this doesn't look like the same team. But they're getting a few breaks now, and they're taking advantage of them.
Strike 2 to Bando. Okay, John. Old needle nose John Pesky.
Thank you, Curt.
Great player.
Take care of Tony now.
Somebody has to. Pesky used to stick his head right over the plate and hit those line drives. He used to get those 200 hits every year. A 1-2 pitch. 2-2 to Bando. One out for the A's in the fourth inning, nobody on. Our game is tied 1-1. Inside corner, Bando's mad.
Now we saw early in the ball game Don Mincher argue very vociferously when he was called out on strikes. Now Bando arguing with the home plate umpire Larry McCoy. Beneath the eye of Sal Bando, the left eye, you can see it is blackened. He was hit on the left side of his face. And, of course, that protective flap may have saved his life. We saw him earlier in the season get hit too, Curt, and he got hit again about a week and a half ago.
That's right. Look at him. He's still mad at
That left eye.
Larry McCoy. All the way. I can't get over how fast Tiant looks when you saw him pitch here a year ago. It looked like he'd nearly lost it all. He's made quite a comeback.
See his arms come back, Curt. Surprisingly enough, he's been working hard, strengthening that arm. I battled against him when he was with Cleveland when he first came up. There were very few that could throw harder, and his ball moved. And then he lost it with that sore arm.
One ball, one strike to Dave Duncan, who fly to left his first time. 1-1, fourth inning. One, two. He almost did the hula hula on the mound that time. Not only the body twist away, but then he gave it a little head dance.
He looked like Roberto Clemente when Roberto comes up the bat with all the neck movements and the exercises.
Watch that now. He turns his back to the batter, and then his body goes one way and his head the other.
You're up at the plate, and you saw a pitcher look down at the ground, then look up in the air, then look out the center field. You'd have to say to yourself, as hard as Tiant was, my goodness, he's not picking up the plate. Where's he going to throw it? Behind me? Ooh, frightening.
Didn't do it that time. Lifts the high fly to the infield. Kennedy takes it. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Tiant. And at the end of 3 1/2, Oakland won and Boston won. Cater, Kennedy, Montgomery for the Red Sox in the fourth. In other games, Cleveland 2, Chicago 2 at the end of 3. Hennigan against Bonson. Richie Allen hit his 20th homer in the first one on. The Yankees and the Angels, no score at the end of 6. The Yankees have won 4 in a row. The Angels have lost 6 in a row. That's Barber against Klein. Minnesota, Milwaukee, no score at the end of 3 1/2. Corbin against Colburn. The Twins have lost 5 in a row after they fired manager Bill Rigney. Bounding ball to third. An easy play for Sal Bando, and there's one down. Gator out. John Kennedy struck out his first time. Oakland plays Boston here again tonight. Baltimore's at Kansas City. The Orioles have won 8 of their last 9. The Tigers are at Texas. The Tigers have won 11 of their last 13. So even though the Red Sox and the Yankees have been winning lately, they can't gain much ground on the Tigers and the Orioles. Strike. And this Eastern Division of the American League, Tony, might wind up as the most interesting race of the 4 divisions.
It's the closest right now, of course, and the Red Sox really have confidence in their ability to beat the number 1 and 2 teams, Baltimore and Detroit. They've been having some difficulties with the teams low down in the standings.
There's a smash in the left center. That ball is going to be off the wall. Bounding away from Reggie Jackson. Kennedy will come to third. And he's in with a triple. Reggie Jackson usually plays right field. He has played center. But that wall is tricky with its carom.
Here goes Jackson from center field after the ball. Rudy coming over. The ball hit a little hard spot. Then hit the ground, bounded over his head, and Kennedy very alertly kept looking over his shoulder. Jackson with a tremendous arm, but he couldn't get it back in time to get the runner at third base. Reggie Jackson. Ted Williams played that wall out there as well as anybody, Curt. I know you saw him many years up here.
Played like Willie Moscone. He knew every carom on the wall. All right, here's Bob Montgomery, and Oakland brings the infield in now with the game tied 1-1 in the last of the fourth. Foul ball. Interesting park to work in. I broadcast here for 15 years. There's no game ever like another game. They're all different, sort of like a chess game. A game is never over here because of this wall. You can have a 5-6 run lead in the ninth and hold your breath. Foul out of play. And you're right on top of it. You can reach, the fans can almost reach out and touch the players. In fact, if you notice the box seats along first and third, when the players are on deck, the fans are right next to the players here. They're a part of the game.
I notice a little bit of that foul territory that there is. This is one of the other reasons why this is a good hitting park. Balls hit foul, go into the stands, you get another chance at the bat.
Foul ball. Sure, you'd love a beautiful new park here. And this is in Back Bay. There's no automobile parking here. But the fans love their Fenway Park. It's kept almost immaculate, always has been, by Tom Yockey. Sort of a little jewel set right here in the heart of Back Bay, which is a lovely region right downtown. 2 strikes. Broken bat, blooper to right. This is the right fielder, Boss, coming on. Kennedy plays it halfway and scampers back to third. Louis Tiant now will be up. There's half the bat. Louis Tiant coming up with 2 down and Kennedy on third. We have only one day game in the National League today. That's New York at San Francisco. The Giants were defeated last night. Willie Mays returning to San Francisco, hitting a home run. But the Giants have won 17 out of their last 24 after a horrendous start. All the rest of the action tonight in the National League. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, St. Louis at Atlanta, Chicago at Houston, Philadelphia at Los Angeles, Montreal at San Diego. 2 down, Kennedy at third. Tie game, 1-all. He pops it up. Backing up is Campanera, waving everybody off. Squeezes it for out number 3. No runs, a hit. 1 man left at the end of 4. It's still Oakland 1, Boston 1. We're going to the 5th inning. Kubek, Hunter, and Campaneris up for Oakland. This is the only sign that Tom Yockey allows in his ballpark. It's the Jimmy Fund. Fans send donations to the Jimmy Fund, which is used for research to help children with cancer. The fund started back in the 1940s when a little boy named Jimmy was helped here with cancer. And this Children's Cancer Hospital here has become the most famous in the world, and they have come up with some great discoveries, especially in medicine, to prolong lives. Doctors come from all over the world here to study. The Boston Red Sox, the Variety Club, the Police of New England all take part. And when the Red Sox won the pennant in 1967, the Red Sox players voted a share of their World Series to the Jimmy Fund.
Curt and I know Ted Williams worked behind the scenes for the Jimmy Fund for many years. Lent his support to it, was a great advocate of the Jimmy Fund.
Foul back. Ted and I have served as trustees here, and we used to go around, and I saw Ted do so much good. One strike to Kubiak, who fly to right his first time. Strike 2. The late Cardinal Cushing used to call the Jimmy Fund the Little People's Charity. I used to get in this broadcasting booth, get dimes, nickels in sacks sent up, Tony. Foul ball back. Dollar bills and envelopes. Hundreds and hundreds of envelopes. Little sacks of coins by youngsters waiting outside the broadcast booth. They'd hand to me when I'd come down here. 2 strikes. 5th inning. Hit a high pitch in the center field. Harper, a late start, can't get it right in front of him. That's a tough play for a center fielder to judge with a big swing when the ball doesn't jump off the bat. So Kubek bloops one in the center to lead off the 5th.
Hunter, a good hitter, and now it puts Petroselli, the third baseman, Cater, the first baseman, in a difficult spot in this 1-1 ball game. Is Dick Williams going to have Hunter bunting, or is he going to take advantage of the hitting stroke of Hunter and let him try and slash one by Petroselli or Cater?
That's the first hit for the A's since Joe Rudy beat out a bunt in the first off Louis Tiant. A bunt toward Cater. Makes the play to the second baseman, Griffin, at first. Griffin came in and played on the infield grass just before that pitch. Sacrifice for Hunter. Cater looked like to me had a play at second, Tony.
Could have been close. Danny was holding the base runner Kubek, who runs fairly well, as close as he could before breaking. He may have waited too long before he made his move toward the plate.
Top of the order, Bert Campaneris, a single to left, walked, and has scored the lone Oakland run. Game is tied 1-1. Campaneris, 9 years ago tomorrow, on July 23rd, played his first major league game right here. Now let's see, it was at, what was it, Allen, Minnesota? Kansas City, he was with the Kansas City A's, then played at Minnesota. And he hit a home run on his first pitch to him in the major leagues, delivered by Jim Cott. And then on his 4th time up in his first game, he homered again against Jim Cott. A 1-0 pitch. Soft liner in the left. Kubek stops at third, fell down rounding the bag, and when the throw came in to third, Campaneris alertly went to second.
Comes Kubek. He had to hold up just a bit to make sure the ball was through. Now Kubek picks up his coach, Dick Williams. Dick says, whoop, hold it, will you? Yastrzemski saw him slip and fall down. In the back of your screen, you saw Campaneris hightailing it towards second.
He just barely broke stride over there, very alertly watching third base across the diamond.
Good base runners do not need coaches as we look at Campaneris. They're looking over their shoulder like Willie Mays does so well. Follow the action themselves. They don't rely on coaches too often.
Joe Rudy has a bunt single, and he's popped up. 1 out. The A's threatening in the 5th. Runners on second and third. Tie game 1-1. A ball to him.
There's Dick Williams talking to Kubek, alerting him.
Kubek. You didn't pick him on your all-Polish team, did you?
No, I didn't.
1 ball, no strikes. That drive is down the right field line, twisting foul.
That's pretty good power to the opposite field right there, Curt. That ball went well into the stands, 20-25 rows back.
Reggie Jackson on deck.
Dick Williams, the type of player and also the type of managers. We look at Kubek at third and Campaneris at second. Used to have to really scrap for everything he got as a player, and he likes to do things like hit and run, stealing bases, suicide squeeze. There's Williams, one of the bright young managers in baseball. Tiant's pitching from the stretch.
1 out, runners on second and third. A 1-1 pitch to Rudy. A high fly in the center. Kubek tagging at third. Harper makes the grab. Goes to his shortstop with the throw, the cutoff man. And Oakland leads 2-1. Campaneris held at second. Sacrifice fly for Joe Rudy and RBI number 38. All right, they have first base open now.
And, of course, Jackson, the left-handed hitter, with first base open. Mincher, following, who's also left-handed, but by putting Jackson on, would allow a force out on any base. He may not, once Jackson walked intentionally, he may say to his pitcher, Tiant, well, don't give him anything too good. Throwing balls, maybe he'll go after a bad pitch, but sometimes that backfires. The pitcher wants to throw a ball, he may groove it.
Reggie Jackson has grounded to short to knock in a run and popped up. Campaneris at second, 2 out. A strike to him.
Reggie has had some tremendous days on our game of the week, and of course in the playoffs last year, he always seems to come up with a home run or a big hit. He's a little bit like Ronnie Santa with the Cubs, who does well in our game of the week.
1 strike to Jackson. Foul ball, strike 2.
It appears to be throwing a little bit of a screwball, Curt, taking a speed off fastball or sinker, and it's breaking away from the left-handed hitters a little.
Campaneris, the runner. The on-deck man is Don Mincher. And the batter is Reggie Jackson. Oakland leading now 2-1 in the 5th. Took him out on the corner. 3 pitches. Disposing of Reggie Jackson. 1 run. 2 hits. No errors. 1 left. It's on halfway, and Jackson may be out of the ball game. Reggie Jackson, blocked out by the umpire, has been ejected from the game for protesting that called 3rd strike. That's Dick Williams, who walked up from the third base coaching line, getting into the argument.
There's Hendrick in center field now for the A's, and I don't think Reggie wanted that to happen to him, but we've already had 3 Oakland A's argue very vociferously. Mincher early in the ball game, Bando, and now Jackson, and that's a little bit of an indication of the way Oakland's going, Curt. They're losing ball games. They've been beaten 3 in a row here in Fenway Park by these Red Sox, and they're mad. It's hot weather, a little bit tired just before the All-Star break, and it's showing in their play on the field and the way they've been arguing with the umpires' calls.
But they took the lead there at the top of the 5th. We were talking about Bobby Dorr, just musing that if he'd be watching this game out on that beautiful Rogue River country in Oregon, and he is. He called Fenway Park and said he's intently watching the game, enjoying it, and say hello to everyone. Bobby Dorr, all-time Red Sox second baseman. Tommy Harper leading off in the last of the 5th. Has singled twice. Strike. I wonder when he's going to invite me out there steelhead fishing.
We're going to find out about your fishing tomorrow.
That's right. Strike 2. Tony and I are going down to Cape Cod after some striper and blues. And we're head for Atlanta Monday morning, early Monday morning, for the All-Star telecast that we hope you'll be looking at Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time from Atlanta. Change up. That's all for Harper. 5 strikeouts for Jim Hunter.
I'm not looking forward to getting skunked with you once again fishing. This happened to me before where you said, oh, boy, I got a great spot. Really get into them, and we got skunked.
Well, that's fishing, especially for striped bass. Doug Griffin is sacrificed and struck out. Lazy swing, slow grounder to short. 2 away. Campaneris gobbling it up. Yastrzemski is fly to right and walked. The A's have 2 runs, 4 hits. The Red Sox 1 run, 4 hits. He had a hot streak during that period that you read about, but he's cold now. He's 0 for his last 16. Strike 1 to him.
Carl has been going more to left field, talking to Johnny Pesky last night during the ball game. There's one stretch, that hot streak, where most of Yastrzemski's hits were going to left field, left center field, up the middle, left field line.
The ball, his rookie year, that's the way he hit 80-90% of the time, Tony, to the opposite field. One ball, one strike. 2 out, nobody on for the Red Sox in the last of the 5th inning.
Yastrzemski is a great athlete. He had probably one of the most exciting years ever up here in Boston all around.
There's a long smash to deep center, way back, and there is his first home run of the season into the center field bleachers. Well, when he hit the first one, he really hit it. To me, has been the most confounding statistic of the year, that Carl Yastrzemski could go into July and not hit a home run.
He got everything into this one, Curt. Hit the ball to center field. Look at that. Head down to the ball. A weight distribution. Perfect balance. Wind didn't help that ball. Somebody fainted. They're waving a towel. Trying to revive him.
Number one.
The players can't believe it either. He's a super player. What a great athlete.
Well, here's a fella that, there's a foul off to the left by Reggie Smith that hit 44 homers in 67. He hit 40 homers in 69. He hit 40 homers in 1970. He dropped off to 15 last year in a bad season, and now he is into late July until he hits his first one. It's puzzling. He's happy. Look at him. He told me that I'm going to hit one here this week. Big bounding ball by Smith. Kubek over to first with it. The Red Sox are up, but they've tied the score. 1 run, 1 hit. Yastrzemski's first homer of the year. And at the end of 5, it is Oakland 2 and Boston 2. 6th inning, Tony. Incidentally, you see that vacant spot in the bleachers. They leave that purposely without a complete sellout so the batters will have a better background. It's a good hitter's background here because of that high green wall in the center field bleachers. The white ball comes off that green wall, one of the best backgrounds in the major league. Then when they leave the fans out of there, it's even better. Last night, night before, sellouts. They'll be playing here tonight, then tomorrow. So we're going now to the Oakland 6, the tie game 2-2. To tell you all about it, Tony Kubek.
Don Mincher will lead it off here in the 6th inning for the A's. Mincher with exactly 200 home runs in his American League career. Be followed by Bill Voss and then Sal Bando. Luis Tiant on the mound for the Red Sox. 6 games being played in this series between the A's and the Red Sox. The Sox have won the first 3, 2 of them in extra innings. Little change-up breaking ball, called strike to Mincher. Don has struck out both times at bat so far in the ball game. Fouls this one off, 2 strike to count. Red Sox and A's meet again in a night game tonight. Fouled off again. It is expected that almost 150,000 people will view this weekend series between the A's and the Red Sox. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the 6th, 2-2 the score. Tiant keeps going inside to Mincher. Mincher keeps fouling them off. Don, a pretty good low ball hitter, likes the ball away from him in the strike zone. Goes well to the opposite field, has good power to left and right center. Tiant wastes one. 1-2. Little warning to Don Mincher. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carl Yastrzemski tied it up with a home run in the last inning. First home run of the season for Yastrzemski. Too high, so now Tiant, after 2-strike, no ball count, goes to 3-2. Louis on the comeback trail after the arm injury. Mincher hits one off the fist to right field for a base hit. It'll bring up Bill Voss. Voss has walked and popped to third.
Bill Voss.
See now, Dick Williams will have Voss trying to advance Mincher with a bunt. Petroselli playing in on the grass at third. Cater holding the runner at first. Going to swing away outside. 1 ball. Williams has been platooning as Mincher goes over to first base coach Adair, see if he's got the sign straightened out. Angel Mangual played in the ball game yesterday. Voss playing today against the right-handed pitcher. 1 ball to count. Voss takes 2-0 as Montgomery out to the mound quickly to speak with his pitcher Tiant. Now it appears we're going to get a little stirring around as we look at Dick Williams down on third base. Some stirring around in that Red Sox bullpen. Two balls, no strikes to Bill Voss with Mincher on first. 2-2 ball game. Ball 3. Now Louis wants a new ball. Gary Peters, the left-hander. Lou Krause, the right-hander for the Red Sox. Only throwing a couple of pitches each. It won't take them long today. 84 degrees at the game start today in Fenway Park, Boston. Ball 4. So now the A's have 2 men on with nobody out. Out comes Lee Stang, the Red Sox pitching coach. Stang has done pretty good of a job here, Curt. He's got some of these youngsters pitching well.
He has. He was a type of pitcher that was a bulldog competitor himself. I was kidding him today, and it used to take 3 hours to pitch a ball game. Very deliberate. But especially, he's done a job with the young pitchers they brought up. Curtis, McLaughlin from the Louisville club. And the staff was last in the league in pitching average, but suddenly they've had... They had 12 complete games in a row here in this ballpark, which may be an all-time record. It's hard to finish a game at Fenway Park.
Done a good job with another youngster who came in the ball game last night, Newhouser. Struck out 2 men with the bases loaded. So it's the top of the 6th. The A's have men on second and first. No outs, 2-2 ball game. Sal Bando facing Luis Tiant. He's going to bunt. Tiant has it. Throws to Cater to retire Bando, but Mincher goes into third base. Voss goes into second. It'll bring up Dave Duncan.
See what Eddie Casco does now, the Red Sox manager. Duncan can be pitched to. He's dangerous if you throw the pitch in his power alley.
I'm guessing that Casco is going to put him on, and this is just a guess, to get to the number 8 hitter, Kubek, and then the pitcher, Catfish Hunter. Duncan, a pretty good pull hitter. And we've got the green monster in left field. Let's see, he may pitch to him. Men on second and third, 1 out. Duncan facing Tiant. Takes a ball. The infield for the Red Sox playing at halfway depth. Sharp bounder hitting their direction. If they have a play at the plate, should Mincher break off third, they'll go to get the runner at the plate. One out. Two balls and no strikes to Dave. Now Dick Williams calls Duncan down. What's a little conference? He's probably telling him, get a good pitch. They've got a base open. They're not going to give you anything too good with 2-0. Dick Williams, of course, spent some time in the third base coaching box a couple of years ago for Gene Mock. Tiant pitching from the stretch with men on second and third. Duncan off the fifth. Griffin's got a long way to go. He's got it. Mincher scores to make it 3-2, but Griffin makes a fine play ranging to his left to get Duncan.
Well, he did his job. He got that ball to the right side. Griffin has no chance for play. Only one is to do that complete pivot and throw, and he was lucky to keep that ball from going through.
He saved a run. So now Boss is on third. Kubek at the bat. Kubek, a pretty good bunter with pretty good speed. Takes it inside. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Kubek takes ball two, and Tiant is really finding it difficult to get the plate, Curt.
I believe he's tiring. It's 85, 86 degrees right now. When he's missed the strike zone, he's been way out of it.
3-0. He has the pitcher Hunter up next, but Catfish is a good sticker. Eddie Casco and Lee Stang, his pitching coach.
Tiant's last start was on July 3rd.
Ball four. Kubek is on, bringing up Hunter. Oakland 3, Boston 2.
27.
Dick Williams talking to Boss.
Jim Hunter. Pitcher. Hunter.
3-2 ball game. Oakland over Boston. Top of the sixth. Peters and Krause continue to throw for Boston in the bullpen. Hunter pops it up in foul territory. Cater drifting over. He's got it for the third out. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. And so in the middle of the sixth inning of play here in Boston, it's Oakland 3, the Red Sox 2.